Hi guys, in this video we're going to be talking all about the brand new home hair restoration kit by SkinGenuity. If you suffer from hair loss and you're interested in things that you can do at home, then stay tuned because this will be very interesting. So this here is the brand new SkinGenuity Home Hair Restoration Kit. I was not given this, I bought it myself to try it out before recommending it to my patients, and I absolutely love it. And I'm going to tell you in this video exactly why. So this kit works fantastically as an adjunct to treatment that you might have done in clinic, such as PRP, or even as a standalone treatment that you can do at home. It helps to boost results and improve hair growth. It's fantastic for anyone who's noticing thinning of the hair or bald patches in their hair. This kit is fantastic if you're starting to notice that your hair is either thinning or you're noticing patches of hair loss, more hair shedding than usual, then this kit is ideal for you at home. It doesn't work so great if you suffer from long-term baldness, but if you notice that you have hair thinning or areas of patchy hair loss, or perhaps even a receding hairline area, then this treatment works fantastically for you at home. It really helps to stimulate that hair growth using something called growth factors, which I will go into now. So briefly discussing the anatomy of hair, we all have hair follicles. These are essentially tunnels where the hair grows from. You have little oil glands that help to nourish the hair, and you have a hair bulb that lies at the bottom, which creates the base of the follicle. And it is here where the cells actually divide and create new hair. You do also have blood vessels that flow underneath and help nourish this hair bulb to help give it the nutrients that it needs to grow. All importantly, you have little hair follicle stem cells which also live in the follicle to help stimulate hair growth. They actually produce hair throughout your lifetime by using something called growth factors. Growth factors have the ability to trigger these cells to make new hair, and that is essentially how this kit works using growth factors. As we age, we start to lose the benefits of these stem cells and growth factors, and that's why over time sometimes you can feel that your hair is thinner. In the past, it was thought that people who were suffering from hair loss were losing hair follicles and stem cells. But actually, now they've found that even people who are completely bald have the same number of hair follicles and stem cells. However, these just don't seem to develop into the cells that produce hair. And this is where the magical growth factors come in. They provide the biological signals that your hair needs to stimulate hair growth. In the SkinGenuity Hair Restoration Kit, there are actually 11 different types of growth factors that all work together to do something slightly different, giving you thicker hair that sheds less and that's a better quality and is more dense. This kit is the culmination of several decades of research to finally come together to a kit that will be very effective and has the clinical trials behind it to prove it. So when you open the kit, it's actually super cool because you have a little video playing, which is basically Dr. Ali, who's a plastic surgeon and a professor of aesthetic medicine. He's the head of faculty of SkinGen UK, and he'll tell you all about the product, how it works, and then it goes into a little video explaining exactly how to use the product, which is very useful. If, however, you know how to use the product and you don't want to hear it play every single time, then you can pause it, mute it, or if you want to fast forward or rewind to a certain part of the video, then you can as well. So the first part of this kit is the microneedling system, and this utilizes 0.2mm needles through which the growth factors go into it, and it's applied to the scalp to regenerate and stimulate hair growth. You have the growth factors, which are separated into 4 small bottles of 5ml, and you have 8 microfusion applicators, which is the applicators with needles. You're meant to use this microneedling system around 3 times a week or every other day. The second thing is a patented advanced hairbrush that applies advanced botanicals to provide nutrients and other stimulants of the hair follicle. And this is to be used AM and PM. So let's start off by talking about this brush. So it's really cool. It's a patented design and it comes already pre-filled with the botanicals in the brush, and it's filled up to 60ml. I've already used some, so that's why it's not quite at 60ml. Each of these bristles is a hollow tube which kind of has a roller ball end to it, so that as you put it through your scalp, you really feel the botanicals and liquid go straight directly onto your scalp. The brush itself, I initially thought that this sort of open and close meant something, or the little green toggle here, but actually that's more, this is just for the cover that comes with it. so that you know how to get the cover on. And also the green toggle on the side doesn't actually mean anything, it's actually for the manufacturers, so don't worry too much about that. It smells amazing, so it smells like a spa. It literally does smell of botanicals, which would make sense because that is what it is. It's really pleasant to use. I first of all use a tangle teaser to get rid of any knots, and then I'll use this afterwards because I just find the tangle teaser easier to get through my hair. And then the cover goes straight on the brush like this, so you can store it. I store it in the box like this so that it doesn't leak at all. If you want to refill it, so you don't have to get a whole new hairbrush if you run out, you can actually just take off this bit here and refill the bottle. So if you need to rebuy the solution, then that's a great option rather than having to rebuy the whole kit and the brush, because you can just keep reusing the brush. Now, this is meant to be used AM and PM, so twice a day, and on average they estimate that the 60 milliliters lasts around 8 to 10 weeks, but it really does depend on, I guess, how much hair you have and yeah, how you're using it, but that's what they say on average. Like I say, if you need to buy a refill for the botanicals, then that's pretty straightforward. You can just refill it yourself, and you just go through from the scalp and just brush right the way through. So now let's talk about the microneedling part of this kit. So you have a serum. We have 4 of these, which is 5 mils of the serum, and you have, which has the growth factors in it, by the way. And then this is the microfusion applicator, which is the microneedling tip that you use. Now in each of these boxes, there's 8 of these boxes in the kit. You have the needle tip in there, and I'll show you now how you attach it to here and use it. So step 1, open up the needle pack and then you screw on the top with the needles on it onto the serum. Make sure not to tighten it too hard, because if you do, the serum might not flow through the needles. So if you notice that's an issue, then relax the tension on the bottle, on the screw, and that should make it come through a bit easier. Turn it upside down and press the gold button in the center. This will then let the needles fill up with the growth factors. Make sure the solution is actually coming out by testing it on the back of your hand. If it's not, loosen the top and press the gold button until you see air bubbles going into the solution. So that means that when you needle it into your skin, it's actually going into your scalp. Step 4. Press the needles onto your scalp where you're trying to grow hair. Press firmly so the needles actually do penetrate the scalp. Repeat the process where you want to prevent hair loss or improve hair. It might make your scalp slightly red, but it will settle. For best results, this is done every other day. If you haven't used half the bottle yet, then unscrew the needles and wash them with water. Put the lid back on the serum and store it, and put the lid back on the needles and store this as well after washing. Now, of course, because it's needles, make sure that you do not share this kit. You have to be very sure that this is not shared with anybody, even the brush, because technically if you're using needles on your hair and then putting the brush through it, then there is a risk of cross-infection. So each of these needle applicator packs is designed to last for half a bottle. If you use it beyond that, then you'll find the needles are actually too blunt, so I don't recommend that. So say if you use half of this in 3 applications, so that's say 1 week of use, then the kit should last you around 8 weeks. Thing to remember is change this when you reach to half a bottle. Of course, the length of time that the kit will last does depend on how much hair loss you have. So say, for example, if it was just a little bit of thinning on the sides of your hair, then you won't be using the needle applicator as much, and therefore it'll last a lot longer because it's not going to blunt so quickly. Whereas if you're doing the whole of your head, then it won't last quite as long and you might get through a half quite quickly. Now again, once you've finished the solution and the applicators, you don't need to buy the kit all over again with a handy little video in it. You can actually just get the applicators and the solution delivered, and you can also get the solution that goes in the hairbrush. So it's really good. You don't have to keep rebuying the whole kit. You can just restock the things that you've run out of. So you'll actually start to notice an improvement in your hair within around 6 to 8 weeks, but the maximum results are seen at 12 weeks. The solution itself is really potent and contains the 11 growth factors. It's actually the same solution that we'd be using in clinic if you were using the SkinGen system, but we just use a different application method. Whereas you're using the 0.2 millimeter applicators, we use something deeper in clinic. So it's really, really potent, and it's actually the same quality of what's used in the clinic. The great thing about this is it can also be combined with other treatments that you're doing, so you can really boost results at home. So things like PRP treatment, or if you're having the in-clinic SkinGen treatment, then again, this can help to complement it, so you really boost your results from home use. Since trying this kit and seeing it for myself, I absolutely love it. It's fun to use, it smells amazing, and it's based on science. There are clinical tests that show that you get an increase in hair density, so that's the number of hairs per centimetre squared, within as little as 8 to 12 weeks. So it really is a kit that does actually work. I'll definitely be recommending this to my patients that have previously come to see me for hair loss as something they can do themselves at home, complement their treatments that they might have in clinic. The kit itself retails at £295, and like I say, it depends on your hair loss or the amount that you're using it, for how long it lasts. But they say on average 8 to 10 weeks, but if you have less hair loss, then it wouldn't, it would last a lot longer. But if you had more hair loss and you were using it all over the hair, then it would last closer to 8 weeks. So that's it for my review on this SkinGenuity Hair Restoration Home Kit. I hope you enjoyed it. If you had any questions at all, just let me know, fire away, and I'm happy to answer any questions you might have. If you wanted to put in an order, again, just let me know. We can arrange for a consultation and I can actually get it delivered to your house if you are in the UK. So we can get that arranged for you. But otherwise, look after yourselves and take care.